Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Tim from the Nintendo Dads, coming at you with a Let's Play of the Legend of Wright, well actually RPG time, the Legend of Wright. Now, if you notice, little me here in the lower left corner is probably not in sync with what I'm saying right now, and that's because the audio that came through, or the audio that I thought I was recording, didn't come through. So I'm re-recording the narration. So this guy is going to be replaced by this guy. Some of you may or may not know that RPG Time, The Legend of Wright, releases on August 18th, 2022. Thankfully, Aniplex and DeskWorks gave us a review copy, and a code I should say, for me to take a look at for the Nintendo Dads to share with you guys. So here it is. And I'm thankful that I got first rights to it, I guess, if you will, no pun intended, to check it out, because I was looking forward to this game when it was announced back at the June Partner Direct that Nintendo did. It was one of my top 4 that I was excited to see, and I'm very blessed to be able to do this and share it with you guys. So while we're here on this page, let's take a look at the overall game board here. I also need to see if I can keep time with what I did previously here, so let me get through what we got here. First up, we have in the upper left hand side, we have the life counter, which is used by a tape measure, which I thought was really clever. Next up, we have the status bar, which is put together by a bunch of those little beads, which I thought was really cool. So the status gives me, you know, what level I am, my health, and all that fun stuff. Then right below that is my equipment. Right below that, to the left center, is the food bell. You just ding that, and then you can go eat something to replenish your health. It looks like my previous previous talk, I was talking about the manual there, the tutorial dungeon. That one you're gonna go check out on your own, because I don't want to spoil anything for you. So it looks like the hand is going over to look at the contents as well. But there's all kinds of stuff on the right-hand side. But let me continue back to the left. I'll get over to the right. You have the dinner bell. Then you have the experience points right below that, which are post-it notes that are getting posted there every time you complete something. It's really cool to watch when you do something. Then right below that is the D-pad you use in-game, not on screen, but you'll see that moving when you actually use the D-pad. And then right to the right of that, starting like what I was pointing at before, the tutorial dungeon, you can use that to go through a tutorial. I won't spoil that part for you. Like I said, I think it'll be fun for you to see all the things that happen there on your own. Next, I haven't figured out what that is in the left center, just to the right of the dinner bell. Don't know what that is yet. I'll probably find out later in the game. Then there's little notes right below that. Now we'll go over to the right, where you get the stages, the contents, where you can see I have the Land of the Light and the Great Cave completed. Little green check marks there to the right of the notebook, the blue notebook there. And then I'm currently starting the Porch Town episode there. And to the right of that, you've got your pencil that's used as also the sword in the game. The eraser's used by the Dungeon Master. And then also what looks like a little iPad. It's actually a Bluetooth game, a music player. That's where the Dungeon Master of the game, that little kid you see there in the blue, plays the music for the game, which I thought was pretty clever. And then right behind where it says move cursor in the lower right corner and touch R and the light world, blah, blah, blah. That is where the action button is. Alright, so here is the part where I start playing the game, so you all can see what it looks like and how it plays. I'm using the start button here, or the plus button, to open up the notebook and begin where I left off, and that is here in Porch Town. And this is, I've already opened up the inn, and I've already started exploring there, and as you can see here, I have quests. I have to go to the bridge, and I have to go to the academy. So basically, that's what we're walking into. I am also thankful that during the recording, or the loss of my voice during this recording, I didn't lose the video game audio. But here I'm also checking out the map, or showing off the map and some of the areas I need to explore. I misspoke and said I went to the inn. I actually went to the tavern already first, and then before I went to anywhere else. Before I continued on in this demonstration, I think what I also did was I went to my recordings, my previous recordings, or the recordings I did on my Switch, and showed off some of the things I did up to that point of getting to Porch Town. So let's see if I can remember what I talked about here. First off, what I remember is we talked about finding the mini ninjas. So you can actually use the ZR button to explore the screen, and these exclamation points pop up on the screen where you can activate them and learn about all these points within this part of the page. While you're doing that here, you can look to see if you can find these mini ninjas. And there's actually one over to the right of the Find the Mini Ninja card here that you see here, that you can that is actually here on this page. If you access it and stuff like that, then you'll be able to get that to count towards your Mini Ninja count, which is in the lower right hand corner of the page. It'll start notching that that little guy there in the lower right hand corner. Here you get to see me die for the first time, and actually, you know, I get flung up to the screen, I kiss the screen, and go to the last page in the notebook where it shows in the upper left-hand corner of the notebook how many times I died, and then during that sequence I also get a chance to bring myself to life by electrocuting myself a few times. So that was fun. So after I bring myself back to life, I start back where I left off. It took me 4 tries to get to this point, but one thing I want to note here, see that little turtle? Help him get to the hot tub that the DM is about to draw up here. That's my hint to you if you're going to play this game. And you just have to let him get there. Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I wanted to show off this special move slot because this is going to be random for all of you out there who's playing this game. I wanted to show what I got when I pressed the blue, yellow, and red button, or in correlation to what they'll show on the bottom right screen. It will be the Y, X, and A button. So for me, my special move will be watch this fiery prison. So once I selected that, it will then end up over, or what I do to the boss that I'm fighting over the screen that it'll show right now. I love this stuff. Isn't this awesome? I imagine that you guys will all have something different if you're playing this game, so that's why I wanted to show what happened to my spin or random draw of the special move. So on my way over to Porch Town, I got to play a little mini game, kind of a backstory of what was going on and how I met the princess, Princess Leia. The mini game was to catch the girl from falling from the sky. So this is kind of the story of how I met Princess Leia, the princess who's in trouble. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to show that off before I showed off getting into Porch Town. Alright, now that we're back here in Porch Town, I don't want to spoil too much here, but I figured I'd show off what was in the well, a little bit of what was in the well, because you can explore in each of these things in Porch Town. And in this instance, I decided to go down in the well and play the little mini games that were there. Didn't know what I would do there would impact the story, but here you get to play a couple 3 mini games actually. One being you get to trivia questions from the lady at the bar. You get to play tic-tac-toe with the person here at the in the games area here. And when you do that, you get the Academy booklet or guidebook that you'll need eventually later on. So it doesn't hurt to fall in here and do this out of order because you'll eventually need it anyways. But I wanted to show off that you can play this mini game of tic-tac-toe, get the book, and then move on outside of here to play another mini game. One of the things I really liked about this game too is it shows the Dungeon Master, the little kid here, wearing a headband where the kid is the character, playing that character, the NPC, I guess, if you will. So I thought that was pretty funny and cute that the kid's wearing that on his head to play that character. Here's the third mini game I was talking about. This one I'll show you. You didn't get to see the trivia game, but you'll get to see the hamburger game here in just a moment. Alright, now that we're done with the mini games in the well, we can continue on our quest to go to the bridge and go to the academy. So let's go on to do that, and I'll pop in every once in a while, but I figured let's listen to the music, let's see what I do here, and go on from here. So here I entered in using the ZR button, entered in the Explore screen where you get all the exclamation points, and I'm looking for the ninja essentially. I couldn't find it in this screen, so if you happen to see it, I won't hear you. So, but maybe during the gameplay when I'm actually playing, I'll find it. And you'll probably see it when I'm exploring in the next screens. But that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going over, seeing what I can find, maybe find some extra things. Alright, here's where I get to do another action part of the game, where I get to use the action button, and that button is the A button essentially, but throughout the game that A button does something different all the time. So here's my action. I get to break 30 pieces of bridge parts so I can help build the bridge, and here we go. Now here you get to experience or see what I got to experience, a boss fight essentially. So a little bit of different mechanics here, where I get to use the left joystick and the right joystick, where the left is to guide my sword and the right is to swipe the sword in the direction I want to go. So here I'm going to move it, the left joystick, to place where I want it to go, and then I'll use the right stick to slice. Right now I'm just circling it, but this is where I'm going to go. Right there. So this gives you an example of what I like about this game. It's not just turn-based. You can do some action sequences that are like immediate, and then there's turn-based action. So where I do a move, then the enemy does a move, and so on and so forth. So different things, which is great about this game. So it's not just one type of game like turn-based battles, but you also get to do other things, action-based and things. I'm trying to pull it up. So including action, side-scrolling shooter type things, command battle games, things like that. And you even have choices like this, where I get to pick the answer and move on. Did I mention how adorable this game is, by the way? It's definitely a plus. While we're here, let me just mention something that we got in an email about this game that I wanted to share with you. Over the course of its 10 years of development and 16 years of conception, RPG Time, The Legend of Wright's uniquely creative presentation and imaginative vision has earned the two-person DeskWorks team awards and recognition at numerous trade shows around the world, including the Tokyo Game Show, the Taipei Game Show, Bit Summit, and Indiecade. Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Does it mean this is going to be Game of the Year? I don't know. I'm still playing it, but I'm having a blast with it so far. It's charming. It's just, let me just read what I wrote down here about this game. Overall gist, I've played 2 out of 8 episodes, and I started playing the 3rd during this Let's Play video, of course. So far, it is the most enduring game I've played in memory. My friends and I used to play a tabletop wrestling RPG game we created in middle school, and this, as well as my time being a dungeon master in D&D, brings me back to those times. The way it plays through is fun. It's multiple genres in one game, so it's not just turn-based. For me, it's an easy game with a bit of a challenge here and there, something I think parents and kids could get in together as well. But what keeps me going is the game's presentation. In fact, I want to get back into playing it. So right now, in fact. But before I take off to play the game on my own, let's finish off what we had started by talking to the hen. Here, she's at the tavern, and basically I have to play a mini game in order to convince her to help me build the bridge. I got the parts, that was part of it, and now I gotta get the boss hen, to help me with that. But you'll soon see she's gonna try to pull one over on me, but I get a little help. All right, so we beat the hen at her game, and now we got her to help. Well, almost to help. What we got to do now is get step 2, and that's get her some Bavarian pudding. As you'll see here, my tasks will change, and I'll have more to do, and that's where we'll stop the show here. And I hope you enjoyed the time you spent here with me, and we'll consider picking this up for $30 in the eShop, the US eShop, or check your local eShop to make sure I got the right price for you. Until next time, listen to the Nintendo Dads every Thursday night live, where I'll probably be talking about this once I'm allowed to. Or you can listen to our podcast on your podcast feed every Friday morning, and so on. So again, this is Tim, showing off RPG Time, Legend of Wright. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll check you later.